What's up guys, Cash back with another one, and I know everyone's celebrating finally getting some meaningful news about the game, and after this week's reset, players are in a better mood for multiple reasons, and the reason is because the blog post gave us more insight into what we can expect from the big update coming in March, and we also got a bit of info about how the return of Nick Fury will be handled, and I'll share my thoughts on how I think his return will affect the game's current narrative and where things could go from here, so let's jump into it. So this week we got another weekend of double resources as well as shipments cost dropping 50% to just 250 units, on top of cutting the price for challenge card activations by 50%. Now the reason behind this move is simple. They recognize that a lot of players have been struggling with collecting units to purchase shipments, and while they're implementing changes in the March update to address this, they also wanted to help players out right now, so they're doubling the units you farm and making shipments cheaper to let you know they are listening and they do want you to be able to earn units in the game. Shipments will be half price all the way until March 3rd, so this is the perfect time to grind and try to catch up on the rewards from shipments. They also brought the Red Room Takeover event back again, and I made a video about why I think we've been seeing this particular event so often lately, but we'll have to wait and see if that's simply coincidence or not. As for the news about what to expect from the update patch coming in March, they announced that they're adding checkpoint rewards for the raid, and this is great news and something players have suggested since the raid launch because of so many cases of players disconnecting before completing the raid. So when this update comes, you'll now get rewards after every major encounter in the raid. The mission chain panel will list the order and what encounter gives you the gear. So again, that is a big step in the right direction until they can stabilize the raid or add in join in progress to missions. They're also adding unit rewards at the end of the OLT and the raid missions now. So after completing your initial run for the week, you'll get 1,000 units, and for every completion after that, you'll get 500 units. So again, more ways they're showing that they've heard our complaints about farming for units. They're also making changes with the vault missions and villain sectors. Vaults will no longer require you to find coordinates and instead will be able to be picked up from the Shield faction missions, and one elite vault and villain sector will be a part of the weekly updates. You'll still be able to find the missions on the war table and you'll have a chance to get an exotic from them, but you'll have a higher chance to get an exotic when playing the daily and weekly mission chains, with the elite mission chains awarding 2 gear pieces, with one being for melee or ranged and the other being for defense or heroic. They're making more missions and mission chains per hero, including the mega highs, meaning instead of only being able to get rewards for one hero per week, you'll now be able to play missions like the mega hive with each hero individually, which is something that is definitely another step in the right direction. The new Thor Ragnarok skin hit the marketplace this week, and of course it's fire and definitely worth picking up if you're a collector. But switching over to news about Nick Fury returning to S.H.I.E.L.D. and working alongside the Avengers, I know a lot of you are wondering how this will be explained from a narrative perspective, because the last time we saw him he was frozen in time with Monica fighting against the Kree in the future, and a user over on Reddit asked if there's going to be a mission to explain Fury's return, and he was answered by one of the devs who said there isn't a story mission, but there is a little bit of narrative to explain the change and move the present moment that the game is in a little further along the game's timeline. The main purpose of the change is to better fulfill that Avengers fantasy of working with S.H.I.E.L.D. and getting missions from Fury, especially for newer players. So what I got from this is there will more than likely be a cutscene explaining Fury's return to S.H.I.E.L.D., and from there things will shift to a more familiar setting with Fury in his normal role as director of S.H.I.E.L.D., with Maria Hill there as second in command. But looking at what we know of Nick Fury, he's one of the world's best intelligence spies and makes it his mission to always have as much intel as possible. So with him returning from either the future with Monica or finding a way to escape AIM in the present, I'm pretty sure he's coming with some vital info on the Kree and the impending invasion that we all know is coming, and we could possibly see him be the person who calls Captain Marvel back to Earth from whatever off-world mission she's currently on, similar to what we saw in the MCU. This definitely has the potential to be a good change for the game, although I hope you can actually interact with him and get actual lines of dialogue, because we currently don't have that with Maria Hill or even Hank Pym. But that's everything I got for today's video, guys, and now I want to know what you guys are thinking. Do you think the game is starting to head in a better direction finally? And do you think we'll see Nick Fury call in the big gun with Captain Marvel? Make sure to drop a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to catch more Marvel's Avengers content every week. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.